Welcome to the second video of a series where I explain the evidence that links infection by Toxoplasma gondii to the onset of schizophrenia. Let me briefly recap what we learned in the last video before we start getting into the nitty-gritty of the mechanisms by which the protozoan might trigger this disorder. We now know that schizophrenia is a severe neuropsychiatric disorder with a prevalence of 1% worldwide. It is characterized by positive, negative, and cognitive deficits. Its etiology remains to be elucidated. However, there is evidence that links infection by Toxoplasma gondii protozoan to its onset. This protozoan is a parasite whose definitive host are cats and big cats. The normal routes of infections include eating undercooked meat or contaminated food, although you can also congenitally acquire it. The infection is usually asymptomatic, however it can lead to severe consequences in congenitally infected newborns and immunosuppressed individuals. Let me introduce you to Philip. Philip was born in 1980 in Macclesfield. In 2009, he went vegan and rented an allotment to grow his vegetables. He used to go every Sunday with Garfield, his cat, who was infected by Toxoplasma gondii. As a normal Sunday, Philip went with Garfield to the allotment. However, he didn't notice how Garfield was defecating all over the allotment. What Philip did notice is that Garfield was surrounded by mice some days ago. It really surprised him because mice have an innate aversion against cats, as these are mice predators. So why would mice be so close to Garfield if Garfield was gonna kill them? Why would the mice be having such a suicidal tendency? Well, all of this has a very interesting explanation that I'm going to proceed to illustrate to all of you. Some parasites are capable of altering their host behavior, and Toxoplasma gondii is one of them. Research has shown that Toxoplasma gondii infection alters rodents' perception of the risk of being preyed upon by cats. Although uninfected rats display a normal aversion to cat odor, infected rats act fearless and even show attraction to cat odor, which is termed as a fatal feline attraction. Remember those mice that Philip saw surrounding Garfield that Sunday in 2009? Well, now we know that they were potentially infected and hijacked by the parasite that rendered them fearless. Sadly, Garfield ended up preying the mice and becoming infected by Toxoplasma gondii. But the question here is, how does the parasite benefit from this behavioral manipulation? Well, as you probably remember, felines are Toxoplasma gondii's definitive host. Thereby, the parasite can only sexually reproduce inside the feline's gut. In order to get there, the parasite infects felines' prey, such as mice, and manipulates them, rendering them suicidal, so that the parasite can get into the cat's gut, where it can reproduce sexually. Now, we understand how Garfield became infected, but what happened to Philip back in 2009? One of those Sundays, he went to the allotment, and he again did not realize that Garfield was defecating all around the allotment, so he carried on and collected some carrots to dip in hummus, his favorite snack. When coming back home, Philip was so excited to eat the snack that he just superficially cleaned the carrots. He dipped the carrots in hummus. Well, not only he dipped the carrots, but also Toxoplasma gondii cysts that were in the carrots. Philip did not know he just became infected with Toxoplasma gondii. You might be wondering, how is Philip doing after 10 years since the infection? Well, Philip is sadly hospitalized in the Innswood Hospital Psychiatric Unit under the diagnosis of schizophrenia. Several studies have reported that individuals with schizophrenia have a higher prevalence of Toxoplasma gondii when compared to controls. This means that Toxoplasma gondii seropositive individuals are more likely to develop schizophrenia symptoms that lead to the diagnosis. In the upcoming video, I'll explain how the infection by this parasite causes numerous issues, such as imbalances in dopamine, which might have triggered the onset of schizophrenia in Philip and in many other seropositive patients. Any questions? Please feel free to contact me, and thank you so much for watching.